about I do this presentation in Spanish? You know, guys, I'm from Glendale, California. For those of you who's from Glendale in here? Anybody? All right. Fired up. That was awesome. Danielle yesterday.
Best speaker in the house.
I think who said it? Oh, Inglewood. Oliver was like, Inglewood. Did you guys know that at 2 years I fell from a 2-story building? That was actually higher than this. So picture this for a second. You have a baby that is 2 years old. Okay, I don't have the time to go into the details of how it happened. But I had climbed up on the bed right next to my dad. My dad was watching TV. And I was like, Papi, what are you doing? You know, in Spanish. And so I leaned up next to him. And I leaned back just like he was leaning up against the wall. But I didn't lean on the wall, I leaned on a window with an open spring, and I went right through it. And I fell from a 2-story building that was much higher than this. I fell onto a construction site. Could you imagine as a father what you're thinking in that moment? Your 2-year-old baby, your first son. I cannot even think how I would feel in that moment. My dad said he blacked out when that happened. He didn't care to look outside the window. He doesn't even remember how he climbed down. He went down the stairs, and he said he jumped this like 7-foot barbed wire fence. He doesn't remember how he did it. But he said he remembers finding me, and I was like gasping for air. I was like, you know? And he said that, I think crying and laughing at the same time, that when I heard the ambulance, I was like, Daddy, no. La policía, no, right? And the doctors had mentioned that it was like a miracle that I had survived, that the plywood had saved my life. So if I'd landed it any other way, I mean, on my hand, I would have sent my neck, or how I landed kind of, the plywood was a cushion. Did you know, too, that Yvette, at 1 year old, her appendix burst, and she would not be here? You know, one day when you get a chance, speak to her and she'll show you a scar. You know, I was like getting emotional when Mom was telling us a story in San Diego a couple of weeks ago. I think this was like the first time that she had heard it too. And I could see like, you know, Yvette choking up and crying, not because of what she had remembered. She was 1 year old, she didn't remember anything. But because she imagined her being her mom for a second and what her mom went through. And you can see the pain of a parent having your baby at 1 year old, going to these hospitals and doctors not knowing what's wrong with your baby. Baby can't speak, they can't say anything, right? Can't tell you that they hurt. And so many of us, you know, are hurting inside, and we want to speak, we want our voices to be heard. We want to come up on stage and have our name to be heard and be someone great, right? Like the great ones. And I think it's your chance in life to do so, you know, because we are all here for a reason. For a bigger reason, much bigger than us. And I believe that from the bottom of my heart. You know, I remember growing up, my parents, you know, always basically never speaking problems out of their mouths, you know. I always remember my parents for how they treated me. And I knew that we always struggled financially, but they never spoke problems out of their mouth, you know. And you know, I respect them so much for that, and I can only strive to be an example of that, you know, for my daughter and my future kids. My mom has an elementary education, right? For those of you who have met her, she is the sweetest person, you know. She has grace when you speak to her. She like makes you feel so good, you know. And she has a doctorate. I don't know if you guys knew that. She has a doctorate that you can't get even in the most prestigious schools around the world. And that's a doctorate in love, you know? And she taught me how to treat people like kings and queens, just by watching how my mom treated us. And I knew how I always felt special, you know? And so when I speak to people, I just want to make them feel special. Even if I don't know them, you know, everybody who has a voice inside that says, make me feel great, like make me feel good. You know, I always felt like I wanted to be somebody, and the burning desire has never died. You know, I always thought, like, I am here for a big reason, you know? And I think the signs are everywhere, right? Miracles are outside, waiting for us to happen. I'm checking the time here. You know, I graduated from Cal Poly in 2007 with a bachelor's in urban and regional planning. You know, at 21 years old, I had a great career, making great money. I resigned from the firm that I was working for because I didn't see myself working as a planner. You know, I had a cubicle job, I made great money, great benefits, but I didn't feel like I was working at my true potential. You know, I felt like I could do more. Have you guys ever felt like that? Like at your jobs, if you guys are working? Like you feel like you can do more, like you're meant to do more? Like what are you doing, wasting your time doing what you're doing? And that's how I felt, you know? And so I resigned from this firm right before '08 happened. And my logic behind that was to find a job closer to where I wanted to live. I didn't like Riverside. I used to commute an hour to work every day, and like 3 hours on the way back with traffic. It was crazy. And so right around '08, I tried to find a job closer to where I wanted to live, and I couldn't find anything. You know, '08 happened, construction stopped, there was no more development projects, and so I couldn't find a job. And this is where, you know, kind of life hit me with like a ton of bricks. It just said, boom, here's your life lesson. And everything after that was like one struggle after another struggle after, like I was in the worst financial shape ever. I remember collecting change out of a coin jar because I couldn't afford to pay gas. And I lost my privileges to drive. I couldn't drive, or I couldn't find work. I started doing all these little odd jobs. I worked as a driver for this elderly daycare center, I remember, picking up seniors in the mornings and dropping them off in the evenings, making $540 every 2 weeks. And I remember coming home feeling so embarrassed because I had a bachelor's and I was like, what am I doing? You know, I used to think how hard my parents worked to like, you know, give us this life. I mean, my parents didn't help me financially when I went to school, but I remember the struggles and me working full time and going for my bachelor's, and here I was, a driver. Not that a driver is any kind of a bad career, but I felt like I could do more, you know? And it was that breaking point that I realized that I was not going to keep living the way I was, and I was not going to keep making excuses for where I wanted to be. And it was like that burning desire. Do you feel like your burning desire sometimes attracts certain things to your life and puts you, kind of like God opens the doors when he finally sees, you know what? Okay, he's starting to get that. I'm going to start giving him clues and opportunities. And so I met Ryan. I got a job at this post-production company. Ryan used to do ad sales for this company. I never liked Ryan, just so you know. He was like, I was recording commercials for this company, and Ryan would always come in, and he would talk to our art director, and he'd be like, hey, what's up, my boy? And then his voice would come out in my recording, and I would have to do that again. I'd be like, who the hell is this guy now? And I would see him in the hallway. I would see him in the hallway to use the bathroom, and I would walk by. We would both walk by. We wouldn't look at each other. And anyways, long story short, we meet. We like become super close friends. He calls me 5 times to try to invite me to come to a BPM. I flaked on him every single time, and I finally came to the BPM so that he would stop calling me. Right? I swear. How many times do you guys call one person once or twice and stop calling them? Listen here. Ryan called me 5 times. Maybe more. I don't remember. More than 5 times. It felt like that. And I kept saying no. I said, oh yeah, I'm going to go. And I never show. How many people like tell you they come and they never show up? And then you're like, forget this guy. He doesn't deserve to win. You don't want it. You don't know any better. You got to keep calling him, right? The reason why most of you are here in the room is because somebody called you, right? Or somebody spoke greatness into your heart, believed in you, inspired you in one way or another. And so do not give up on people, right? Someone didn't give up on you, and that's why you're here. And so what gives us the right to walk around and think that we can't share this opportunity with as many people as we possibly can? I've seen the lives of so many people change. You know, the people that have walked up on stage, Grant, you know, I mean, he doesn't know, but I pray for him and his family every night. I pray for some of you in this room, most of you in this room. Every night I think about you. And I've seen what you've gone through, and I've seen the person that you're becoming and who you will be, right, in the next years to come. When I came to the BPM, I left. I remember leaving the elevator and thinking, I'm not going to come back to this, right? And I had already heard about WFG. Believe it or not, I joined back in '05 when I was a personal trainer at Bally's. And I don't have the time to go into the whole story, but one day I'll share with you. I was recruited under a guy named Sergio, who was part of Patrick Bet-David's hierarchy before he had separated to start PHP. And so I believe that there's a reason why I am part of this company. And I walk around thinking that I am here, like my destiny is with WFG, you know, because this company has actually done more for me than any other company. And this company has put me in situations and circumstances more than any other life-changing events that I've probably had. I've learned so much through this journey. You know, success is not taught in schools, it's taught in here, right? So take advantage of it. Remember that by saying, I cannot do something, your brain stops working. So instead of thinking that, think, how can I? And your brain will quickly begin to find a solution. Once your life gets better, imagine how amazing life will be in the years to come, right? Always imagine and have a visualization of where you want to be. If we import a certain form of energy into our brain, the output would be of a certain kind. Struggle and criticism are prerequisites for greatness. And that's the law of this universe, and no one escapes that. Sometimes you have to leap and grow your wings on the way down. And you know what? A true entrepreneur understands why like-minded people are so tenacious, right? If you guys hear like individual stories, because it's the desire that every individual has that keeps them going regardless of what situation they're going through. And I'm in love with being my own boss because I have built something from nothing, right? And nobody can ever take that away from me. And you know what, guys? This stuff is hip, it's scary, it's fun. But you know what? I want to move with the people that are moving boldly forward always, who are brave. And to be honest, I know that people who avoid failure also avoid success. And so do not avoid failure. Do what you have to do to take your family to where they need to be. And I believe in every single one of you. God bless you. Thank you so much for your time.